Hello Tarot Rebels and welcome to today's video. My name is Michaela from Tarot Rebel and I'm super happy to see you joining us today. As I mentioned, this is part of my Spooktober Fest series because it's October, Halloween season, and here I am trying my best to make the month a bit less creepy, more friendly, more accessible, more fun in a way. So this is why Spooktober Fest 2021 came to light. The rules are very simple. Each week I'm going through all of my decks and present you some random creepy decks, spooky decks if you like, perfect for Halloween season. And just to let everyone know, this is not the general accepted version of creepy. This is my definition of creepy, and it might differ from what you consider creepy as well. This doesn't mean that my definition of spooky will invalidate your definition of spooky decks. It just means mine is different, and they're all allowed to live under the same sun, right? This week we have some of my Pip/Marseille decks with some creepy twists to them because I think this is not talked enough, and some of them are very accessible in terms of pricing. I think, no, actually all of them are very accessible in terms of pricing. This is very much unexpected and rewarding niche. I did not expect it to be so fun and so easy to bring to light. And without further ado, let's start this this week's video with. So we're gonna start with Tarot Familiars by Fournier. This is the 2018 edition. This is a deck by Lisa Parker. As you can see, is a very much animal magic type of deck. My box is very much worn down, beaten down with it basically holds together just with the aid of Scotch tape. If you can take a look inside, I hope you can see the markings. Anyway, this is just your standard tuck box with a very annoying kind of guidebook. As you can see, it folds out like a pamphlet, like the one you find in I don't know, in paracetamol boxes. Random, I know. Anyway, I think it's written in a couple of language: Espanol, English, Francais, Dutch, and Portuguese. So has 4 languages. These are the backs. They're not reversible. And being a Marseille type of deck, Pip deck more than anything, it's the majors are really nice, very well thought. It's basically all familiars or all witches familiars, and how can that be spooky, you ask? Like, I think because everything happens at night, everything has this magical aspect to it. It's a fantastical world of hares, wolves, owls, cats, what else? I think unicorns, ravens as well. I think it's perfect because of its imagery for people who are beginning their witchy journey, because it brings that familiarity into the mix. And it's also suited for experts because of this Pip style kind of deck. It's kind of annoying when you look at the 10 of Wands. It doesn't like make too much sense versus the 9 of Wands, and maybe that's one critique people might have when it comes to this deck. But I think it's a very gorgeous deck. It's filled with nighttime images that evoke mystery and magic, right? So the whole suit of wands has this beautiful cat family, like, that's gorgeous. I think the Queen of Wands is absolutely superb. Obviously, as I mentioned, some might be very annoyed at the fact that this deck is a pip style deck. Look at the cups, kind of boring. They do have certain colors associated with the suit. The cups are owls in this deck. The fact that this doesn't have illustrated minors, I think it may be a shock to some other people. I find it shocking in the beginning, but then I easily got used to the deck, and I think it's very easy to read. I think it's very easy to use, easy to shuffle, easy to anything, and you can adjust and apply numerology concept and principles when reading the deck. Magical memorabilia also embellish the deck in a very subtle way throughout the chords and the majors. Like you have keys, you have stairs, you have brooms, you have crosses, you have what are they called? Like the crystal balls, hats, tomes of all kinds, wands, this triple goddess symbol here. So it's quite a very subdued, subtle, mystical deck in a way. I do like the cardstock. I think it's really nice. I do love the pentacle suit because it has the wolves. This Knave of Pentacles, which is the Page of Pentacles, is very playful. Then you have this Knight of Pentacles, very, very still and calm. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles with her nurturing aspect, and the King of Pentacles, always there, always protecting. The cardstock, for me, it's very nice, although it's super... Oh, the backs are not reversible. I'm not sure if I said it. It has Lisa Parker on the back. Obviously, if you read reversals, you're going to notice that. It's not necessarily a problem to me. The cardstock is super thin, very bendy, very glossy. I don't have a problem with it. I know other people are not super fond of it. It's bendy. It stands the test of time. As you can see, the edges are not too frayed in my book, unlike the box, which benefited some extra help from me. So yeah, the cards are slimmer than the normal tarot standard size. I don't have my Centennial close to me to show you, and they're a bit shorter, but because of that they can fit really nicely in someone's hands, someone's smaller hands. Easy to shuffle, I think, regardless of the method you prefer. And the guidebook feels a bit basic with mostly keywords, and that's about it. I think it has this gothic feeling to it without it being overwhelmingly dark. It feels a bit mystical in a way, probably because of the familiars that are sprinkled throughout. This devil card is absolutely gorgeous. I think it's cute, approachable, stylishly simple, I would say, because of the way the pips are drawn in my book, because they do tend to put them in some kind of a pattern that makes sense to my brain. I think this is why I appreciate the pip game in this deck. And it was for the longest of time one of my favorite decks, alongside with the Deviant Moon that I already presented. And I think it will be for a long time present in my practice, because it's so easy to use, and even if if something happens to it, if I lose it, if I misplace it, or if I damage it in any way, I think I wouldn't suffer, because it was, I think, £10 or something like that. It's quite a cheap deck, but very sturdy, very easily replaceable, and very fun to use, I would say. So that was it, the Tarot Familiars by Lisa Parker. Next up we have the Modern Tarot Reader by Claire Goodchild. This is the same deck as Antique Anatomy. So this is a deck I received from one of my friends. As you can see, this is a very nice very cute box with a pretty good guidebook, I would say. This is the cutout. The backs are not reversible, and they have the 4 elements drawn. So this is the upright position. This is the reverse position. As you can see, they're not reversible. The box feels quite luxurious, as I said, because of the way it was presented in the UK. I think it's a different presentation in the US, and it's also known as antique anatomy in the US, if I remember correctly. So to summarize, this deck is a pip style deck covered in Victorian style with medicinal vibes and herbal influences, with I would say a certain vintage appeal, which goes perfectly with this, and quite morbid because it goes perfectly with this time of the year, right? So my first impression is that it's very easy to be impressed by this deck and its presentation skills. And why do I say that? It's because of the box. And then the second impression is that the first impression doesn't last too long. The cards don't fit well in the cutout section, and the cardstock is on the very thin side. Like, you can see how thin they are, I hope. They're really, really thin, really bendy, and easily damaged by any kind of shuffling, I would say. And honestly, I'm very afraid to shuffle them vigorously, and that kind of puts me off from using the deck. I think Don Michel from Boho Tarot did a modification of this deck and reinforced the backs in some way, and it looks really good. However, I'm not very skilled at that, so I'm not gonna do it. I do appreciate her video, though. I think it looks it made it look even more amazing than it actually is. The book is very simple to follow, with added information for standard stuff like numerology, astrology, elemental meanings, spreads, and so on. And when it comes to the suits, it does feel like they follow an RWS pattern. Like, we have the rods, which are the wands, you have the coins, which are the pentacles, the blades, which are the swords, and my favorite suit is the cups, and I will say why. So we have the suit of elixirs, and I think when I got the deck, I think the suit of elixirs was the first suit, and I got immediately, obviously after the majors, I got immediately excited because we have love potion for Ace of Cups, right? We have Yarrow love tonic and passion tincture for the 2 of Cups. We have joy tonic, bliss elixir, love potion for the 3 of Cups. We have arsenic pills, morphine, heroin, and cyanide for the 4 of Cups, and so on and so forth. It feels for the 5 of Cups is so amazing because you have 2 of the cups unknown, and the other 3 you see their titles. It's morphine, cyanide, and passion tincture, and that references really well, really creatively, the 5 of Cups, and it goes on like this forever and ever for the suit of cups, the elixirs. And then you have all the other suits that actually don't go anywhere. You have the blades, random standard knives or some sorts of blades. The rods are kind of boring as well. Like, you have some type of wooden staffs here, very pippish, right? And I think this is what puts me off from this deck. It feels like the cups, the elixirs, were so very well thought out, and there was no creativity left for the other suits. Yeah, they look good. Yeah, they follow the same pattern. They resemble the same style, and that gives the deck some consistency. But that's about it. It's like the 2 of coins, the one of ace of coins, the two of coins, three of coins. There's nothing speaking to me from these cards. So it's sad that none of that creativity translated further into the other suits, and I kind of feel a bit cheated at like looking at the lack of interest or perhaps imagination shown to the other suits. So while I do like the deck, the fact that the cardstock is so poor and the lack of creativity plagues the other three suits, bores me. It's like it bothers me so much. I don't feel drawn to use this deck outside of October season, and you can see on the backs here how easily this deck can be chipped and bad things happen to you. I do like the vintage feel. I do like this brownish muddy kind of color for the backs. I do like the presentation box, even though it's not perfect. The guidebook is okay. It's just, I think it could have been done better in my book. Anyway, so this was the Modern Tarot Reader slash the Antique Anatomy Tarot deck. So next in line we have the Cursed Auguries Tarot deck, and I want to preface this with a warning. If you have a fear of holes, also known as trypophobia, spiders, also known as arachnophobia, or fear of sharp objects, please skip to the next chapter. This deck is full of this kind of imagery. So if you stayed with us after the warning message, this is a deck I got on Etsy, of all places, and the creator sells it directly. As you can see, my box is quite worn down. This is how it arrived. It's a really nice velvety, buttery tuck box. So the material is really nice. So it says, step into a world of the dark fairy tales with this deck of 78 tarot cards, evoking imagery of the old craft and folk magic. It is suitable for both new and experienced readers. Designed and illustrated by Spanish artist Ana Sora. Yeah. Here you have the creator's website. This is the name of the tarot deck, and this is the year when it was created, I think. So, as I said, the artist sells it directly. You just go on their website or on Etsy and you can buy it. It feels very vibrant. It's a very intense deck that obviously speaks of curses, burdens, with amazing colors. Like, look at this this pink high priestess, right? This very green empress, this emperor. Like, it's actually amazing. It made it difficult for me to resist it. I love this lover's card. It's actually great for some reason. So, as I said, this came from Spain. So buyer beware. It might take longer for you to receive the deck. I think it took me like 10 days in 2020 to receive this deck. So I've had it for a while now. But I really love the deck for a multitude of reasons. So first of all, let's start with, as I said, this is a spider, one of the spider imagery that's being used throughout the deck. I do appreciated the creator's communication. I received my deck in this very flimsy tuck box, and when I wrote them to ask about if this was a used deck or something, she graciously decided to send me a replacement deck, which, oops, sorry for that, which I honestly didn't use because I do like my decks with some kind of a personality in the end. But I'm always appreciative of this kind of generosity and attention. It's a tuck box that holds and serves this very nice. It's a linen finish kind of deck, as you can see. It's very bendy, very resistant, not glossy, very well drawn out. It's a pip style deck that does depict some arachnids and some imagery around holes and stabbing and some other stuff as well. But I still use it fairly often, and I do appreciate the fact that none of the pips resemble each other. It's not the reiteration of the same element. So if you look at this Four of Wands, for example, all the pips, all the wands look different. If you look at the Five of Wands, again, they look different. Six of Wands, same thing. Seven of Wands, same thing. It's just, I do like the effort that's being put into the creation of this deck. It's a simple tool in my book that I really enjoy using because of its concise nature and direct answers that it's offering. And while the art feels compelling and intriguing, it doesn't take away from the messages that come across. Again, the cup suit is kind of interesting because it has this embryo-like drawing that seems to be happening in the images. Also, the suits are colored differently, the backgrounds, as you can see. The wands were very pale yellow. This is a very muted green. Then we have some really nice brown shades and then some pink hues. It's dark. It's a bit violent at times. Obviously not the suit of cups. Sometimes the suit of cups as well. This Knight of Cups is quite interesting, and I would have loved to see what the artist's idea was with this Knight of Cups, with this snake that eats the embryos, I guess. It's a sturdy deck that doesn't break the bank. I think I paid in total less than £30 for this deck. Again, very violent, as I said, somewhat disturbing with a very unique design, and honestly I'm super happy at the fact that despite it being a pip deck, it doesn't take away from the magical feeling that it tries to convey. It doesn't come with a guidebook, as I mentioned, and some cards would have benefited from that. But I think it's a good deck nonetheless, and I think you can use it with just like basic knowledge of numerology and some Marseille knowledge, and actually that's all you need. I love the pentacles in the suit, even though apples is not my favorite. Apples are not my favorite fruit. I do like the knowledge, the representation of it. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but all the queens are rabbits, hares. As you can see, this is the Queen of Pentacles. This is the Queen of Swords. Let's see, this is the Queen of Cups here. Trying to fit them in one image. And again with the Queen of Wands. It's quite interesting, the selection of this. And then all the kings are just elemental. No, this is the Knight, sorry, my bad. The kings are elemental. So for example, this is the King of Swords, this is the King of Pentacles. Where's the King of Cups? The King of Cups is here. You can see a lot of water. And where's that King of Wands? I should have been more sorry. This is the King of Wands with the fire burning. So I really like this nice touch where the queens very much live in the material, whereas the kings are very much a concept, and that kind of speaks to tarot. And look at how nice it looks because of the background colors. It looks like it's edged in multiple colors. As I said, being a linen finish kind of deck, it's very easy to shuffle, very easy to use. It doesn't break the bag. Sorry, my bad. The smell is quite awful, I will say. It's probably one of the worst linen finish smells I've ever had. So if that's a problem for you, just take that into consideration. But other than that, I think it's a very nice deck. It's very creative, very easy to use, very accessible, and very interesting at the end of the day. Also, the backs are reversible. It does hold the 4 elements, so you have the pentacles, the swords, the wands, and the cups in a way. So yeah, if you want something creepy and interesting and pip style, this is the one. Okay, so Le Tarot de Marseille par Paul K. Yikes, this is something else. So this is Clear Cut Marseille deck. The artist is Paul K. That's my understanding. This is the tuck box it comes in. It has, no, it doesn't say the year it was created, but I think it was 2017. So it's based on Marseille imagery and Marseille style decks with strength at number 11, just as number 8, full at number 22, and with pip cards. Pretty standard, I would say. These are the backings. As you can see, this is like this very cute little skeleton head with I want to say worm. Anyway, creepy enough but fun enough. This is the guidebook. It's both in French and in English, so you can either reverse it and read it in French or read it in English, whatever works for you. The deck itself is, I would describe it, so it starts with the magician, right, in the style of Marseille decks, with the French titles at the bottom and the numbers at the top. It's a sometimes creepy, grim deck. Sometimes it looks like a sick joke to you because of the art itself. Like, look at this chariot. The person riding the chariot looks so sad, and then what is happening with the horses? Like, what? This is an amazing piece of art, I would say. If you're all about mutilations, visceral images, like, look at this strength card. Look, it's sweating trying to open the beast's mouth. This hanged man looks so bored and so over this shit. Sorry. If you like bizarre creatures and black humor plastered all over the place, then this Tarot de Marseille par Paul K is for you. This is like, look at this. I don't know. I think it was, I forgot who said this. It looks like a sphincter head. I'm never gonna forget that. Never gonna let it down. It's somber. This is powerful. It looks like an harlequin, but so angry and so confused. What? And now we get into the pips. And you'll see this umbilical cord. I think this is the umbilical cord, right? On the back of the card. It's a general leitmotif in the deck, and in a true classic vein, you'll see the title, the number of the card on the side of the card, not top and bottom, right? So this is the 4 of Wands. The 5 of Wands is so creepy. I don't know, it's just funny, outrageous, it's sick, it's scary, it's very intriguing, it's very creative. I think it evokes the grimiest aspects of the human mind, body, and soul. Like, look at this. This feels like a murder scene in a way, but in such a way that it makes you laugh. and I don't know, it's just something else. And for some reason, I really wanted this deck. It's such an unexpected find, and I'm super happy I got it. As you can see, it follows the traditional Marseille, and the swords are called d'épée, which means swords. Look at this skinned horse in the Knight of Swords. The Queen of Swords, the King of Swords, like, whoa. Everything seems so vile and yet so funny. I don't know, it's just, I have no words for this deck. I think it's it's absolutely gross and mesmerizing at the end of, look at this Knight of Cups. What happened here? What happened here? Who came up with this? Because it's amazing. It's absurd, it's bizarre, it's whimsical, it's creepy. It's oh, I like this this Knight of Pentacles. As you can see, it has pentacles instead of eyes, and then it has the skeleton for a horse, again symbolizing the stagnancy of the card, right? In such a way. Look at this Queen of Coins. She doesn't look motherly. She doesn't look caring. She doesn't look generous. She doesn't look anything. She's just annoyed. This is the King, and these are some title cards, and this is I don't want to say what it is. I'm hoping you'll see it. It's just such an unexpected find, so creepy, and yet this is a creepy deck I really resonate with and I really like. It's made in France, one of my few decks made in France, and I like the quality. The deck is quite sturdy, bendy, flexible, high quality. This is the death card, very to the point. I do appreciate the deck. I do like the art. I will probably not read for other people, but for myself. So yeah, this was Tarot de Marseille par Polka. I will always twist my tongue saying this. Last but not least, this is a new edition in my collection. So this is Le Tarot Noir, and I want to say, if elegance has a name, then it's Le Tarot Noir. It's such an amazing high quality deck. It's a flip top box with this, let me try, this is where the cards used to sit in two split ways, but I put them in this muted golden bag that came with the deck. So first of all, let me show you the book. The book is on black background with all the images, with a couple of words in French. So if you don't know French, then this will be a difficult study for you. It's quite glossy, you can see the quality of it, but then we move into the aces. So we dedicate one page and one page of text, one page of image for the aces. Then we go to the courts, a couple of words about the kings, then we move into the queens, so on and so forth, right? And it's really nice because you can flip through the book and see how they look like. It's very medieval style, as you can see from the boxes. Actually says so, imagerie médiévale populaire. So without further ado, let's get back into the deck itself. This is this is the deck. I'm trying not to break anything. This is a 78 cards deck. As you can see, they're quite huge, almost square. The creator is Mathieu Haquier, and the book was written by Justine Ternel. This is the 2019 edition. There's an older edition, 2013 one, which I would like to get at some point, but it's kind of difficult to find. This is the back. The backs are completely reversible, black with some golden, muted golden borders and images. The presentation of the deck is quite exquisite, I would say, because the massive box it comes in. The book has 128 pages. The muted golden drawstring bag that comes with the deck itself. I think it's a gorgeous presentation, and I don't think I paid more than £50 on this deck. I think I paid less. I don't remember exactly. So as I said, the guidebook is in French, so keep that in mind. I love this Wheel of Fortune. This is a Marseille deck, so the majors do resemble the medieval drawings of the Marseille, and for the pips we have no scenic imagery. I love this devil card. It's one of my favorite cards. For some reason, it's just it just feels like I don't know, how should I put this? I think the devil is, it feels very fun. It doesn't have that weight to it, that addiction, toxicity kind of energy to it. I don't know how to put it. It's like having a cheeky glass of wine instead of having 2 bottles of wine, if it makes sense. The Judgment card, the World, and then we go into the pips. So this is the aces. I haven't even shuffled this deck. I'm just keeping it as it is. And then we move into the kings. And then we move into the queens. The knights. And the pages. And then it's only pips moving forward. So as stated in the previous deck, the number of the pip is on the sides, not top or bottom. And I don't know what did I miss saying. I think Justice is number 8. Strength is number 11. The pips, despite being so minimalistic, they're so very lush and so very, they feel so expensive. I don't know, the whole deck feels more expensive than it is. And the colors are very subdued. As you can see, they're very warm tones, muted tones, nothing too striking. There's no line that's too sharp, too thick, too black, I don't know. And allows the golden and the black tones to live there, to amplify the power of the deck. I do like this deck. I wanted it because of the art, because of its simplicity. The humans depicted in the Tarot Noir are very much reminiscent of the medieval art style, with dark and quirky undertones. So it's something I really wanted in my collection. And in the end, it feels, yes, like a reiteration of the Marseille, but with added spark in a way, if that makes sense. It's a classic with a twist. It's evoking, melancholic, borderline creepy, I would say, and yet surprisingly lively in a way. Like, it does have a certain naivety to it. I don't know, just going back to the majors, because they're very well thought out, right? It's as I said, I'm particularly in love with that devil because it feels a bit I don't know, spry, nimble, what's the word? Something like that. It doesn't feel menacing at all. This this Hangman doesn't feel menacing. This Death card doesn't feel menacing. It's just like, it makes me laugh in a way. I don't know, it's just, it feels like it has depths to it, depths I haven't reached yet with this deck, but it also has that classical feeling to it. Honestly, I'm super happy I got it pre-October, but I'm definitely going to shuffle it post-October as well. And I will have to admit, it's probably one of my favorite decks to use this time of year, even though it's kind of difficult to shuffle because of the size. And as you can see, my deck has a slight bend to it because of how the cards were stored. I don't really mind it. I need to understand how I will shuffle it because, as I said, it's kind of difficult. At the end of the day, it's a good find. It's a good deck to have in your collection if you're into that. If not, it's just fun to look at. And I guess that's it. I hope you enjoyed my ramble. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. And in the meantime, if you can support my channel by liking, sharing, leaving a comment, subscribing to my channel, I would really appreciate that. It would help me with the algorithm, and I would love to know what other type of content you'd like to see here on the channel. But if not, I'm still considering myself lucky if you stop by and watch the video. I do hope to see you next time. In the meantime, have a great day. Thank you.